So how will this van kind of change your daily life?
Well, it will allow us all to travel together. Currently, I mean, when we first got it, it was just a blank canvas with the 2 seats. So we'll be able to still haul stuff and use stuff on a daily basis like we need in our businesses, but then also adds an element of fun.
Yeah.
We also work pretty much from everywhere. So it's nice if we're somewhere and we got to check emails or, you know, make phone calls. And I really wanted a vehicle that we could clip into 4-wheel drive.
What's going on, everybody? Joe here from Mainline Overland. We just wrapped up a major build out on the Sprinter van behind me here. This customer brought us this van as a totally empty cargo, and we transformed it into the ultimate Overland camper van. Some of the highlights include a Adventure Wagon interior system, smart floor, Ecoflow power system, but we're gonna do a deep dive on everything we did to this van. So let's start on the outside, and then we'll do a more detailed walkthrough on the interior of this van. So starting off up front here, this customer wanted to have some recovery points as well as the option to self-recover. So we upgraded them to the Alvan's Pismo front bumper. So this bumper gives us a place to mount a 12,000-pound winch. It also gives us some front recovery points and then also a front hitch mount if you wanted to carry some bikes or something else up in the front here. We love the Alvan's bumpers because they have all the accommodations for the parking sensors, as well as the radar cruise control up here. And overall, it's a really great looking bumper, providing some additional recovery points, some front end protection, and kind of all the utility you'd want with a nice low profile design. Now for the suspension, we upgraded to Agile Off-Road's Rip Kit. So we're doing their suspension upgrade, which gives us a auxiliary shock up in the front, and then it's converting that factory strut actually into a coilover. And what that does, it gives us way better on-road stability. So it widens the track width a little bit, so you have way less sway on the road. And then once you hit those kind of rough and bumpy trails, the Fox shocks on here are really gonna smooth out the ride. So anyone that has even a stock van to a totally built out van, suspension upgrade should definitely be #1 on your list. And we're a huge fan of the Agile off-road products. With the Agile Rip Kit, we're getting a little bit of lift out of the front and the back, which makes some room to fit a little bit larger and beefier tire. So we went with the BFG in the 275/70/17, and that's wrapped around Al's Talon wheels. This is definitely one of my favorite looking van wheels out there on the market. Gives a nice, super tough look, and these wheels are gonna be super strong. So we're able to fit this 275 tire with the addition of Agile's no rub fender flare. So we're basically cutting away a little bit of the factory sheet metal and putting in this nice plastic piece, just making a little more room so you don't have to worry about rubbing when you upgrade to this bigger tire size. So in the rear, the Agile Off-Road Kit upgrades to a custom leaf pack. They kind of have a couple different stages for how you're gonna build out your van. So we kind of have the appropriately tuned leaf pack in there, and as well as the upgraded Fox shock in the back. So as I said, this customer brought us this cargo van totally stock. So there were no windows along the side of the van. So to get some extra lighting inside, we cut out and installed C.R. Lawrence window here. The really cool thing about these windows is these kind of lower sections actually kick out to provide some extra ventilation, and they have some built-in bug screens as well. So even if it's raining, when you kick these out, you're not gonna get any water kind of coming in the van. So this is definitely our favorite window setup on the Sprinters here. So now that this van is lifted and on a little bit bigger tire, it is now pretty difficult to get up into the driver's seat or that back door without a step. So we installed Amp Research power steps. So these are really slick. When you open the door, that step kind of just drops down, making it super easy to get up in the van. So on the driver's side, we just have this little short one. But on the passenger side where the big slider door is, there's a kind of step that runs the whole length. So you're able to step up in that slider door super easily. And then when you close the door, they just tuck up out of the way and you barely really notice them. So for the last additions on the exterior of this van, we installed the Flatline Vanco rack. We actually installed some deck panels up there so you can kind of walk over the whole surface of it. It just gives you a bunch of extra areas for mounting extra gear, recovery boards, kind of anything you want to throw up on the roof. And then we installed a Fiamma F45 awning. This is the kind of crank out style awning, so they're super easy to use, super low profile, but I really like how easy these are to set up. So to make accessing the roof rack super easy, we installed the Alvan side ladder here. It's a really well-built ladder, and they also have these kind of accessory mounting panels on here. So if you wanted to mount some extra gear on the outside of your van, these kind of holes here allow you to do that. So to transform the interior of this cargo van, we installed Adventure Wagon's interior wall system. So we really like this system. The best thing about it is they include a really nice frame wall structure. So basically the first step of installing this kit is we install a steel kind of support frame into the van. We install about 100 rivets, so it adds a lot of structure and rigidity to the back of the van. But the main thing that does, it allows us a super secure way to mount these wall panels to the van. And then they're held in with all of this aluminum L-track. So you have almost infinite mounting options on the walls, on the floor, on the ceiling. That's really the beauty of these kits, is they're super modular. You can play around with a lot of different components and really customize it to really kind of suit your adventure needs. With the Adventure Wagon kits, you do have a couple options on materials. So you have the choice of fabric section, you have choice of this kind of roof panel, and then the lower section of the van walls as well. I'd say this is one of the more popular, doing the black kind of textured lower. That's going to be the most durable. And then we have the nice upholstered wall panels, and then I really like the bamboo accent on the roof here. But all these materials you can kind of play around with. If you wanted to do full upholstered interior, you can. If you want to do full bamboo, you can. But there's just tons of options, and you can really kind of fine tune the interior to fit your perfect aesthetic. So right when you step up into the van, you'll be greeted with these 2 captain's chairs. This customer did require some additional seating in the back. And really the best way to do that is to install the smart floor system. So this is a full aluminum floor that has these L-track rails built into it. So this is really the only really kind of certified secure way to install some additional seating into a Sprinter van. So we install that floor system, and then these seats can be taken in and out relatively easily. There's basically just a lever on the back that releases the latches that hold them into the floor. So it gives you a ton of flexibility. If you need to use those seats, you can quickly throw them in. And then let's say you don't need them, you're headed out on adventure, you can quickly pull them out for some additional interior room. So we have 6 rails on the floor. So we can tie in these seats. And then if you need to tie down any extra cargo, you can also use that for that. And then we covered the smart floor system in the 2Tech 2 flooring here. So this is a really kind of high traffic flooring. It's really easy to clean dust and dirt out of, and it really kind of dresses up the interior look of this van. So for the power and control system on this van, we installed Ecoflow's 5 kilowatt kind of van setup. And this is a really simple 3 setup system. So we have the control panel here. We have batteries down below in the battery box there. Then there's a kind of circuit board panel, and then there's a power management box, which controls everything from alternator charging, solar charging, shore power charging. So it's a really well thought out kind of compact package that provides you a ton of power and a really nice kind of interface to control everything. So for climate control in this van, we installed a S-bar diesel heater under the passenger seat up front, and then we ran the controls back here. So you can turn this on, and then you control the heat level. You can control the fan speed, and it's actually cool. You can set timers for this to kick on at a certain time. So let's say you're out skiing or out adventuring for the day. Know you're going to be back in the van at 4 o'clock. You can have it kind of preheat and get nice and warm for you. So we'll turn that off. And then right behind me here is the 12-volt roof-mounted AC system. So this is the pneumatic system. They're super efficient. This is kind of our favorite roof-mounted air conditioning setup for these vans. They have a really nice kind of clean-looking cover plate. No matter the temperature, no matter the weather, you're going to be nice and comfortable hanging out in this van. So in the rear of the van, we have this setup. On the driver's side is the battery box, and then on the passenger side is the water tank. And we used Lost Hiway systems, water and battery boxes. So a really nice powder-coated box that gives you plenty of room to kind of fit all those components in. But the really cool thing about this system is it also allows us to install a convertible bed back here. So if we lift up these cushions here, you can get a look at these panels here that fill in between the 2 boxes here. You just simply lift those out, and that's what converts the bed back here. So not only do you get a convertible bed in the back, but both of these panels can be converted to tables. So there's legs that get mounted into the floor, and then these the bed platforms actually turn into the table, and then these cushions create a whole bench seat in the back area right here. So then to convert this sleeping area into the kind of table work setup, it's actually super simple. All you do is lift off this panel, throw that to the side here for a sec, and then they have these nice table legs. We just had them stored in one of these storage cabinets. And then you line up this tab in there, and then you just kind of twist right a few times until it kind of tightens up and locks it into place. And then all you got to do is drop the tabletop on there. Now with everything disassembled, we can get a better look at these Lost Hiway cabinets. So like I said, this is the water cabinet back here. They have this top hatch that lifts up. We have the water tank mounted in there, as well as the water pump. And then we do have some extra storage in this nice little area. Then around the back side of the van, we have this nice little access panel here. And this is where we have the tank fill, the water pump, and then this down here is actually the drain. If you're gonna be winterizing or wanna swap out water, you can hook up a hose there and drain the whole system out. So it's really nice, tidy way to have the whole water system integrated in some really great looking boxes. So let's head over to the other side and check out the power cabinet here. So lift that up. And then here we get a look at the whole Ecoflow power system. So we have the big 5 kilowatt battery in the back. And then this is kind of the power management system. Like I said, this controls all of the inputs and outputs. It's kind of the brain of the system. But we love this power system for vans. It's super simple to set up, super easy to troubleshoot. And we just really like all the Ecoflow products.
You all have been awesome. Thank you for making it easy. And if anybody is ever out there doubting to do it or not, I feel like I'm always one that's nervous. Should I do it? Should I not? You all just really made it easy to pull the trigger and do it. And for us, it was kind of like now or never. As our family gets older and my girls get older, it's kind of like, hey, we got to do this if we're going to do it. So we're really excited, and I'll definitely be sending you guys pictures, and you all will probably be sick of me by the time we're done. So thank you.
Well,
thank
awesome,
you.
Megan. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.